Sandra. I'm going to read this statement from Edward Markey, Congressman Edward Markey's office, because he could not be with us this evening. And I just want you to see that it's a little bit long and detailed, so bear with, please. I'm so sorry that I'm not able to be with you tonight in person. The issues you are discussing are not only deeply important to me, but vital to the safety of people across Massachusetts and the nation. For years, I have worked to ensure that nuclear plants are properly regulated and safely run. In 1979, before the 3 Mile Island accident occurred, I introduced legislation providing for a 3-year moratorium on licensing of new nuclear power plants, so that a top-to-bottom safety analysis of nuclear reactors could be performed. Following the 3 Mile Island accident, I fought to strengthen reactor safety regulations in the event of another nuclear accident. Since then, I have also chaired hearings on the causes and consequences of the disaster at Chernobyl, passed a law to strengthen security at reactors after September 11th, passed a law mandating that potassium iodide be distributed to those living within a 20-mile radius of all U.S. nuclear reactors, and conducted vigorous oversight of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Recently, I urged the NRC not to relicense Seabrook, Pilgrim, or any other nuclear power plant until the implications of the disaster in Fukushima have been more fully understood and integrated into our regulations. The events of Fukushima have not only underscored my long-standing conviction that more can and should be done to improve reactor safety in America. Just last week, Japanese authorities admitted that not only has the nuclear fuel in the cores melted, but the molten fuel has also burned holes through the containment vessel. This will make containment and remediating the radiation much more difficult. Tonight's discussion focuses on whether what happened there could happen here. On May 12th, I released a report prepared by my staff entitled Fukushima Fallout, which identified more holes in the NRC's nuclear safety regulations than there are in the Vancouver Canucks goaltending. Particularly appropriate tonight, isn't it? These holes include the absence of requirements for functioning emergency diesel generators at spent nuclear fuel pools when there is no fuel in the reactor core, the failure to address long-standing and widespread malfunction in energy diesel generators in American reactors, the absence of requirements for technology to prevent the sort of hydrogen explosion that occurred in Japan, and the absence of requirements to more quickly move spent nuclear fuel into safer dry cask storage. Given the troubling revelations that have come in the wake of the catastrophe at Fukushima, I have introduced H.R. 1242, the Nuclear Power Plant Safety Act of 2011, which would place a moratorium on issuing licenses until some of these issues have been addressed. It will require safety standards that will protect plants from major events such as earthquakes, tsunamis, strong storms, and extended power outages, while increasing on-site backup power capacity. It will also require sufficiently cooled spent fuel to be stored in safe dry cask facilities. We must also ensure full implementation of my law to distribute potassium iodide to those living within 20 miles of nuclear reactors. Until these steps are taken, I have called on the NRC to suspend all nuclear reactor licensing decisions. With respect to the Seabrook nuclear power plant, I also feel there is no need for the NRC to be considering a license extension when the plant's current license does not expire for another 20 years. Recent press reports have raised concerns regarding aging-related degradation in the concrete at Seabrook. There is no need to rush on extending the plant's license. We cannot wait for a disaster on American soil before taking the necessary steps to ensure that we learn the lesson of Fukushima. The safety of our citizens is too important. I thank you all for your dedication to this issue.